I've always thought of Pickup Lab as my opportunity to talk to you personally. And a lot of times this is what's on my mind in terms of pickup, etc. Right now what I want to talk to you about is what's on my mind in terms of pickup, self-help, philosophy, all of that kind of thing. Because there's a huge movement in pickup over the past several years, and especially at the moment, that this idea that like self-help is pickup. That like the answer to everything is inner game related and stuff like that, right? And you'll even hear it from I don't want to mention names, but certain people that I know that they'll say like, oh, it's like 99% inner game and then like technique's only 1%, which to me is utter and total bullshit. And they say that trying to make a point, but I think it's a very damaging point to make in that sort of a context. And so I want to talk about where the lines of inner game and outer game are. I want to talk about self-help versus pickup a little bit, and I want to talk about like the right and wrong approaches to self-help, self-improvement, that sort of a thing. And what I really want to say is that there's two forms of like schools of thought on self-help, one of which I really hate and one of which I really love. Okay, and I never even like knew of like self-help as a movement. In fact, like I've always like from a very young age actually been into self-help, in the sense that I've constantly been working on myself from a very young age. I had a very good father who actually got me on that journey at a very young age. So I never knew it as self-help. But the thing was, even though like my main focus in life, unspoken as it was a self-help focus, I always hated everything that called itself self-help. And the reason is, I always felt that kind of stuff, it always was trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator, and it was always trying to like fix you, right? So it's this idea of there's something fundamentally flawed or wrong with you, take this magic pill and be fixed. Or let me like, put my hands on you and heal you or shit like that. Now that's like extreme versions. But the point is that self-help can be for one of two things. It can be to take where you are and try and help you to excel, or it can be to like fix you. And that's therapy. To me, that's not self-help, that's therapy, right? And if you have a fundamental problem of some kind, I guess, get a therapeutic solution for it. But the type of people that are doing self-help as therapy are probably not qualified as therapists and should not be the people doing that in that context, all right? To me, what self-help is, it's about you taking control of your life and taking action steps to improve your own life. It's not about someone going in and fixing you while you sit there and be fixed, okay? I don't think self-help can ever be a passive process. No one can fix you but you. And anyone who's promising you like a magic pill or promising you this thing where like you just like attend something, close your eyes, and wake up fixed, it doesn't really work. It doesn't really make sense. Now, let's talk about some of that stuff, okay? So specifically, let's talk about like meditation, guided meditation, that kind of stuff. I've done some of that actually now. I actually have a meditation coach. And meditation is a valuable thing that has been proven to have certain positive effects. Meditation does, on average, make people a little bit happier. Meditation can help you to have more clarity, to like be a little bit more in control of your emotions, for sure. And meditation, if you take it to the scope of visualization, can help with goal setting. And within athletic performance, it's been proven that you can definitely improve athletic performance by visualizing yourself playing certain sports, doing certain activities, that sort of stuff. So meditation is a very powerful thing. But anybody who thinks that they're going to solve their life through meditation is full of fucking shit. Or anyone who thinks that if you want to get good at girls, meditating about girls is a better solution than going out and talking to girls is completely full of shit. And anyone who thinks that meditating about general life happiness is going to do better for you than talking to girls is utterly and totally full of shit, and you should run very, very fucking fast the other way. Okay? So the point is, the idea of getting into a good mood, getting into a good state, is helpful a bit, but it's very, very easy to overrate. And you have to look at within like a therapeutic community or within a self-help community, how it's so easy to go overboard with this sort of an approach. Okay? So most self-help is not easy. If you want to fundamentally change yourself, it's probably not something where you're going to like go do something for a day and you're like a completely different person the next day. It's probably not going to happen because you have years and years and years of ingrained behaviors, ingrained attitudes, ingrained learnings. You're not going to change everything in a day. Okay? So by its nature then, self-help is a process that involves effort on your part, it involves time on your part, and it's not an easy thing. If it were an easy thing, everybody would be their idealized self already, right? So the point is, it's not easy. And the point is, because it's not easy, you're likely to struggle, you're likely to have some negative emotions around it, and you're likely not to walk away from that experience necessarily feeling all good all the time, right? Maybe we probably will have some great epiphanies from good self-help. Like if you come on like an immersion program with me, you're gonna have some crazy epiphanies. You're gonna have your mind blown. You're gonna have some experiences where you're on top of the world and whatnot. But you're not gonna leave the program and just be happy for life, okay? That's bullshit. That's not gonna happen, okay? You'll have some more skill sets, you'll have some more tools, you'll have maybe a slightly higher happiness set point a little bit, and you'll have definitely, more importantly, a higher confidence and self-esteem set point because you will have achieved things, right? And that's very, very important. But to say you're gonna walk away and just be happy is like crazy. And so my main objection to a lot of self-help stuff is this idea that the goal is to be happy, right? Because there are things you can do to make yourself happy immediately in the short term. You could take heroin, and in the short term, you would be very, very happy. You would be happier for that period of time than you have ever been in your entire fucking life, right? And then when you come down, you can take some more heroin and make yourself happy again. And that's called self-medicating. And people do that with illicit drugs. People do that with prescription drugs. People do that with things like alcohol. And people can even do that with things like self-help, therapy, meditation, those kind of things, because that is a way to escape from emotions, right? Or it can be used as a way to escape from emotions. So meditation can be very, very useful as part of a self-help process where you are stepping up, taking action, learning and growing, and then you add in some meditation to enhance what you're already doing and to help you cement that progress, help you get the emotional side in line with the action side in the real world. However, if you think that you're just going to go meditate your way to nirvana, you may be able to convince yourself into being happy in the short term. But just from my experience, there's kind of like three types of people, right? There's the type of people who they're focused on what to do. They're not focused on their attitude. They're just focused on what gets the job done. What can I do to succeed? What can I do to achieve my goals? Those people tend to be quite happy, right? There are some that are overstressed. There are some that are that push too hard or have the wrong motivations or whatever. But in general, those people are probably happier than average, and they have especially more high self-esteem than average, and more belief in their ability to accomplish things and self-trust than average. Right? And so those type of people I find very, very powerful. Now, yes, that's not everybody in that group is perfect. In fact, almost nobody's perfect in the real world, right? But there are a lot of very positive traits that come out of that. On the other hand, you have the guys that are like the pure self-help guys, or the pure like, I just want to feel happy, I just want to feel good. Ask this to girls, right? This is an interesting approach for you, or interesting kind of like test for you. Go out and ask girls what their goal in life is. I promise you, the girls who you're going to respect the most and think have their shit together the most and who have the most success, probably who are like the most high self-esteem, they're going to give you tangible goals for their goal in life. The ones with lower IQ, lower self-esteem, don't take care of themselves as well, are not as accomplished in life, they're going to say, oh, I just want to be happy. It's a chasm, okay? Do that as an experiment in game. Ask yourself that. And ask girls that. Also, ask guys that. I promise you, the guys who you respect the most, the guys whose accomplishments you want, the guys whose lives you want, are not going to say, oh, my goal is just to be happy. They're going to say, I want this and this and this, and this is what I'm doing for it. The guys who don't want to be the guys like, oh, I just want to be happy, I just want to be chill, that kind of stuff. And so what happens is those people, there are techniques to get you happy in the short term. Again, drugs, alcohol, therapy as a drug, which is what I want to talk about a lot here, can be used to make you feel good in the short term. Problem is your emotions exist for a reason. Your emotions exist to push you forward, to help you strive and help you achieve something. And if you cut that off, and if you're just happy without having achieved anything, what ends up happening is you're medicating on happiness, but you have to keep medicating and keep medicating and keep medicating. And with any drug or anything you do, you need more and more and more over time to achieve the same effect. And if you're not progressing in your life and building the fundamental external things on which to build your happiness as well, then you're sort of deteriorating in that way as well. So these people that are like pure self-help, just from experience, go test this for yourself. Test this for yourself. Are those the people that you want to be? Are those the people you aspire to be? Right? Most people want to be the Michael Jordans of the world, the Bill Gates of the world, the Warren Buffetts of the world, not the like, guy who lives in his parents' basement smoking weed all day. all right? Because that guy is finding a way to be happy, etc. Or the guy who is just like, in maybe not doing much in his life, but he meditates and he's very calm. Is that the person you aspire to, or you aspire to be the high achiever? If you just want to be the calm guy, you can go that route. But I'm telling you, without anything in terms of actual growth, actual technique, actual external basis along with the internal, it's just going to get harder and harder and harder over time. The ideal person actually is in the middle. The ideal person is in the middle. The person who is that striver, is that achiever, is doing those things, but has implemented some amount of meditation and introspection and those kind of things in order to enhance it, but he's not reliant on it. He doesn't use it as a drug. He uses it as, think of it as like a supplement, a performance enhancing supplement, right? It's almost like kind of as though you were gonna take like vitamins to get in shape, right? You can take a bunch of supplements and not go to the gym. You're not gonna get anywhere. You can go to the gym and not take supplements. You'll get in good shape. With or without the supplements, you'll get in fucking good shape. Or you can go to the gym and watch your supplements, and then you'll really crush it, okay? But that's what all this, like the meditation and the therapeutic self-help and stuff is. That's an additional thing to go along with action and intelligence and a game plan and proper technique and proper coaching. If you use it as medication and you treat your whole goal as, I just want to be happy, you're going to end up happy in the short term, right? But in the long term, you'll probably end up less happy. And you'll end up also, again, less accomplished, with fewer skills, probably lower self-esteem, and lower amounts of self-reliance, which are other things, because meditation's proven to make people happier. All those other things are also proven to make people happier. So if you neglect those and think that the solution is going to be found outside of yourself, that someone's going to guided meditate you to success, or someone's going to give you like a magic pill little like mantra that's going to get you success, that is bullshit. And it's actually harmful bullshit, because people buy into it and they believe it. And the reason why it's so seductive is because it feels good for a bit. All right? I talked about how on an immersion program, right, you're going to gain a shit ton, you're going to leave with massive revelations, you're going to leave massively improved in life, but you're not going to be happy all the time. If on the other hand, I told you like, here's a solution that you can do when you get like a bad emotion to like kind of whisk the bad emotion away, well, that for the short term might actually have a bigger impact on your short-term happiness, because you just learn to whisk those bad emotions away. But understand that those bad emotions, a lot of them, not all of them, because some of them are like evolutionary relics and stuff like that, but like a lot of them are coming from somewhere, and there's a fundamental problem in your life that's causing that bad emotion. And if you just keep whisking the bad emotion away and ignoring it, that fundamental problem may get worse and worse and worse. Your emotions exist to serve, your emotions exist to help you in life. And if you're just like, the world doesn't exist, I feel good, that can only work for so long. All right? In fact, it can't work at all. It can just make you feel okay for so long while it's failing to work. All right? It's kind of like if you had a major fundamental health problem and you take some kind of like a pain medication and you still have like some major problem deteriorating your system and killing you, but you don't feel pain. Well, you feel good, but you haven't addressed the fundamental problem. So I have a massive, massive problem, as you might have guessed, as you might be able to tell from what I'm talking here, with this idea of feel-good self-help. This idea that like feeling good is the end you want in life. No. What you want in life, feeling good should come out of it. But what you want out of life is skills, abilities, self-esteem, growth, learning, those kind of things. And that's where really amazing emotions come. That's where the real highs come. It's not about like medicating away the bad emotions and leaving yourself at like a level of, okay, I'm calm and I'm okay and whatnot. It's about creating these like extraordinary experiences, which outside of like a world of like hallucination or whatever, they require something in the real world. They require some kind of actual growth, some kind of actual work, some kind of actual achievement in the real world. And so just be very, very wary of the title of this video is going to be Despise the Free Lunch. I'm finally getting to that topic. The idea of the Despise the Free Lunch is be very wary of what's being handed to you. Be very wary of what's being treated as a magic pill or something that's like the effortless solution, the quick fix, the thing that will make you feel better right now. And be very, very wary of anything that says the goal is to just feel good. Because like I said, there are a lot of ways to feel good that are disconnected from reality, but all of those ways that make you feel good eventually rob you, and they make you dependent upon them to continue feeling good. And it's a downward cycle, as opposed to an upward cycle, which is the real self-help. It's not as fast, but it's far more rewarding in the long term. And it's the path to actual true happiness.